Welcome back to the program. Let's get now to our second conversation. We're joined by a former Speaker of the Plateau State House of Assembly, Honorable Gabriel Dewan, who joins us live now virtually from Jos. Thank you indeed, Honorable Dewan, for agreeing to talk to us here on the program. Perhaps we can get things started from our previous conversation with Islamic cleric and scholar Sheikh Ahmed Gumi. I wonder perhaps if you do have reactions to some of his perspectives. I mean, because you are a former speaker in Jos Plateau State, and that state has been under attacks, you know, for many, many years now. Honorable Dewan, you can go ahead and respond. Yes.
Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, listeners. I'm very grateful. It's a pleasure linking up with you people this morning. I will not want to express Sheikh Gumi's opinion much because that is his opinion. But as a representative of the people, I have every right to say I am totally against his positions because for over years now, Sheikh Gumi's positions has been sympathetic to these blood-sucking bandits. I don't see reason today, with what Nigeria is passing through, for any patriotic citizen of Nigeria to be talking about negotiation, peace deals with people who are killing and maiming our communities and our country. You see, the danger of having peace deal with terrorists is, I had the making reference with Yaradua having peace deal with Niger Delta militants. So if you go by that, is trying to make it look like, okay, since there was a peace deal with Niger Delta militants, there must also be peace deal with these bandits. What are these bandits fighting for? I think that should be the question we should ask. Niger Delta militants, they make it clearly. They were fighting on the exploration of the oil in their own land. Perhaps they came on the round table, they discuss with the federal government, and they lay down their arms. What are the bandits fighting for? What are they after? What is their mission? In some instance, he was even talking about there is no single percentage of Nigerian budget allocated for the bandits. For crying out loud, are we in Banana Republic? We should allocate our national budget for bandits, those who are coming to kill us. And they have tell us, tell with that number that these people are not Nigerians. Yet the same Nigerians are saying we should allocate our own national budget for them. And from Plateau State, we know what we are passing through. And for me, I don't think that is a wise decision for Nigerian government.
All right, Honorable Dewan.
Totally against it, and I counter with all sincerity.
Yes. So you do not agree that this non-kinetic approach is working at all, because Sheikh believes it's working. It could have been worse without this non-kinetic approach, without reintegrating these people into the society. He believes that it could have been worse. The violence, the attacks, the kidnappings could have been more terrific than what we are experiencing now.
You see, to a large extent, I don't blame him, but I blame our Nigerian system. Because by now, he could have been under a security net for more investigation. We're talking about terrorists, for crying out loud. Which connections? What is the relationship between him and any other negotiator with those bandits? Where did they used to meet? So people come and kill us, and you go and hold meeting with them, sitting down comfortably with their arms, and discuss with them and live peacefully? Are we in a serious country at all, Jeff? Are we serious in this country at all? Do you know what is scaring me the more? Not up to a week, a brigadier general was captured and executed, and look at the mood of the country as if nothing happens. And today, as representative of people, you want us to encourage our constituent to join Nigerian army? If a general, a one-star general, we're not talking of captain, lieutenant colonel, in fact, in a serious nation, and the military of that magnitude is being captured alive. Not as if he was killed on a gun battle. He was captured alive and executed. And look at the mood of the country. Everybody have go on with his normal businesses as if nothing happened. And someone will sit comfortably and talk about negotiation, peace deal. Oh my God! In a serious nation by now, it's could have been a full-blown war against these terrorists. We have not been talking about negotiating by now. When the brigadier general was captured, executed, by now we could have been seeing fighter jets going after these terrorists in the bush, bombing them, striking on them. For me, as a representative of the people, I'm totally against any peace deal with it. Make peace with terrorists. Which peace are you talking about? What are they fighting for? That is the first question. Let's ask them, what are they fighting for? What is their aim? What is their target? What have they been denied of in this country? Which of their birthright has been taken that they are fighting for?
Yes.
When we get that background, then we talk of peace. You wake up and, okay, today, I will wake up and form my own team, raise on arms against the Nigerian state, and turn back and say they should negotiate with us. Negotiate what? What am I fighting for?
All right, Honorable Dewan.
That should be the question.
Yes. So, I mean, so you perhaps you'd want to tell us if perhaps you believe there's a Christian genocide or not, because your governor, Mr. Caleb Muswan, on camera, not once, not twice, he believes there's a Christian genocide, and that's his position. And perhaps does that represent the position of the state? Walk us through that. And then this issue of intervention or help. Now the Nigerian government says the US is going to support us with more intelligence and equipment and all of that. Do you believe we should get help from the US? Is that the kind of help for someone who comes from a state that has seen these attacks perhaps firsthand? Is that the kind of help that you and some of the residents in Plateau states were hoping for?
Well, to start with, I'm totally with my governor on the position of there is Christian genocide, even though, to be fair, for me, I believe that there is a general genocide. But when you look at it, they are into two different perspectives. If you look at the attacks going on in places like Plateau, Benue, Taraba, and so on, you have to agree that there is Christian genocide, because in some instances in my own state, the terrorists came and some of our own Christian brothers were saved by a Muslim imam. So you see, in that kind of scenario, it gives you a clear a reason to believe that of course it's a religious genocide, since the Christian ran into the mosques and they were saved, they were not killed, they were protected by the imam. It means it has a religious correlation. But when you look at what is happening in places like Zamfara, Sokoto, KB, and others, of course, Muslims are being killed. But we in this part of the world, we are saying there's Christian genocide because of the method, how they operate, how these terrorists operate in our own areas. Of course, Christians are the target. But to share the sympathy of our own brothers from other states, for me, I can say that there is general genocide. But of course, as a Plateau representative, I can tell you that in this part of the world, it's more of a religious, you have a religious correlation, since some of our people have been saved in the Muslim mosques. But if you look at how they are doing down in the other far north, you must agree that these are people who are after Nigerian state. That is my own belief. So to run it up, I'm totally in support of what my governor said. There is a genocide going on in this country, a massive one for that matter. Now, talking about help, is it a big deal for Nigerians today to seek for help with this present situation we're in? When we were growing up, we learned that our own forces were sent to Liberia, sent to so many other countries for peacekeeping. What were they there for? I believe it was to help those countries to restore peace in their countries. But you see, the problem is that it seems like up to this moment, some Nigerians believe that Nigeria is at peace. That's one of our major problems, because we can only seek for help if you agree that we have problem. But it's very unfortunate that we are being economical with the truth. We are trying to be political correct, so we are denying the reality. If not, I see no reason Why any leader or any representative of the people or any patriotic Nigerian will wake up today and say he's against the help to come and restore peace in this country?
All right,
when you look at Donald Trump's statement, he didn't say he's coming after any religion. He's not coming after Christian. He's not coming after Muslim. He said he's coming after Islamic terrorists who are terrorizing Nigeria. So anybody who is against that statement, it means he is either a terrorist or is a terrorist financier or is a terrorist sympathizer. If not, the statement was very explicit that he is coming against the terrorists. That terrorist in bracket. So why are people crying? I'm fully in support of that help. For me.
All right, Honorable, so let's break it down even further with the time we have. So the back and forth I had with the Sheikh was to the fact that I said there's genocide against Christians, Muslim, but there's no Christian genocide, which is what I was debating with him, because the people that have been strongly standing and saying that, because it depends on where you're looking, as you've dichotomized it. That's why I mentioned Barikin Ladi, Bokos, Mangu, and Yelawata, all of those enclaves. So the truth is that we must identify everybody's complaint. The Muslims are being killed, the Christians are being killed, people are being killed all over the place. But some people are screaming more than the others, say, we're being targeted. We cannot silence that voice. I'm giving all of this illustration to say that it's not just the genocide element, whether it's targeted at Christians or Muslims. There's also the economic and survival element, which we must not shy away from. That has to do with the farmer header crisis and all of this, whether land grabbing or whatever it is called. There's also pure criminality on one end. So when we break these things down as a representative of the people, because right now we're trying to solve problems to stop the killings. I think that's the end game everybody can agree on. We may not be able to use the same approach that we use for genocide perpetrators to the issue of economic survival. How do we dichotomize and save our people from getting killed, whether it's economic, genocidal, criminality, or otherwise?
Well, Jeff, you see, you have been explicit about your position. That is why you say I tell you before. We have different scenarios happening in this country. Like in Plateau, I make reference with what happened in Barikin Ladi some years back, where attacks came. They were after Christian communities, and they were safe. Over hundreds were safe when they ran into a mosque, and the imam protected them. The same imam was awarded a federal honor in the villa, if you have not forgotten. But that doesn't mean that Muslims are not being killed. I am from Pangshin local government, under my federal constituency, where Kanam is also located. Many people are being killed daily in Kanam, who are our Muslim brothers. You see, for me, I believe that these terrorists operate into different dimensions. There are those with religious correlation, and there are those who are out more of kidnappers and armed robbers. How would I put it? Because in some instances, they kidnap people, they don't kill. In some areas, they kidnap and they bargain for ransom and they set them free. In some instances, they come and kill. They don't abduct anybody. They kill, they burn houses, destroy farmlands, and go away. So you see, they operate into different. They have different approach of operation. Like what happened in Yelawata. They didn't kidnap people. They came and kill, maim and destroy and go away. That is why in that kind of scenario, we said there is religious correlation. But of course, when it linked with kidnapping, where they kidnap people and bargain for ransom, it happens everywhere. Nobody is spared. They kidnap Muslims, they kidnap Christians, they kidnap even security personnel. But you see, the problem we're having today is we must first accept that there is problem. There's security challenges. There's insecurity in the country. And look at what is happening. These things are happening not in borders areas. A state like Plateau State do not share border with any country. We're in the heartbeat of the country. But you begin to ask, which road these terrorists use to enter Plateau? What access would be? And because we look at the weapons they are operating with, when you look at their method of operation, you begin to wonder, who is behind these people? Who is supporting these people? Who is bankrolling these people? Who is financing these people? In my state today, there are many villages, there are many hamlets that people were killed and these Fulani bandits occupy those communities and they are staying there peacefully. Nobody is harassing them. Then you begin to ask, what is the aim? That's why we said there is genocide, land grabbing, they come and kill our people, occupy our lands. And when you look at what is happening in Barkin-Ladi and Bokas, most of those areas are areas where mining activities are taking place. Especially in the northern Plateau. If you go to Wasi, that is in the southern Plateau, mining, a lot of mining activities is taking place there. If you come to Bokas, come to Mongu, come to Barkin-Ladi, come to Riom, a lot of mining activities are taking place. And they will kill our people, occupy the lands. Not as if they come and kill and go in some of these communities. Many communities, many villages will be ransacked. And sometimes they do not even burn the houses. When the people run away, they occupy the houses. And they stay there comfortably and continue with the mining activities, with the farm produce. So anybody who will come up today and say that there's no genocide in this country, I think that person needs to be investigated. That person needs to tell us more, because as a Plateau man, I can tell you that there is a conspiracy of silence by people that are supposed to speak, by people that are supposed to talk, by people that are supposed to protect our people. And one of the major problems with our own politics today is that everybody wants to be politically correct. Everybody wants to be seen as a saint. Nobody wants to talk. But when you come to politics today, everybody will be talking. I want this. I want. But I beg to ask. Who are the people that are going to vote us if our people are being killed day in, day out? Now, go to northeast, go to northwest, go to most of these states that people are being killed over. Do you care to ask yourself one question? On the day of election, how did they conduct election in all those areas peacefully? I think those are the questions which Nigerians should begin to ask. If these areas are no good areas now, how many during elections are conducted there, councillors are elected, local government chairmen are elected, House of Assembly members are elected, everybody is elected peacefully, then the electorate cannot sleep at peace. Bandits, terrorists to come and make peace with government officials.
All right.
Oh my God.
We have
serious in this country at all?
Yes. I mean, you have raised really very pivotal and critical questions there. But we have to anchor at this point. It's also interesting because when you politicians get to apply for these jobs and want the people to vote for you, you always campaign that you can solve these problems. But when you get on board, the narrative changes. But we'll have to anchor at this point and leave it here. Indeed. Okay. All right, but just before we let you let you go, you want to just a question from my colleague before we go.
Okay. Honorable, so as we speak right now, what form of, do you agree that Donald Trump should invade? And that's on one hand. The other part is, what form of urgency does a place like Plateau need from the federal government? If you can answer in 1 minute.
Okay. I am in total support that Donald Trump, not just Donald Trump, any international community or any foreign country that can assist us in solving this insecurity, I'm in total support. Lastly, for my state, Plateau, what we need from federal government is deployment of more indigenous trained security personnel, because some of the challenges we are facing these days, the securities always complain of terrain. They are not familiar with our terrain. Of course, we're in a very rocky and complicated, we have a complicated terrain. So if the situation is getting out of hand, instead of bringing foreign military trained personnel from other states that don't have any idea of our terrain and they get killed, bring some of our indigenous trained securities who are familiar with the terrain, mix them up so that they will guide the other securities on the terrain, the exit and the entrance of every community and every local government. That will help us checkmate some of the challenges that we're facing now. So my plea to the federal government is that send some of the commanders, some of the battalions, indigenous people who have the know-how of the entrance and the exit of each community and each local government in the state, and that will help us checkmate the excesses of the terrorists. All
right. We have to leave it here. Honorable Gabriel Dewan, former Speaker, Plateau State House of Assembly, thank you indeed for your time on the program.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, this is the morning brief. We'll take a moment now and be back as we get to our final leg of the conversation. This time, the justice system gets our attention. We're back in just a moment. Please stay with us. Thank you.